Fantastic. So we've got JJ on the left and Jacob on the right. Looks like for engineers we've chosen Ratchet and Mother with Hoist going on as well. And Shark, Salt... Oh no, not Shark, sorry. That looks like Corsair. Tentacles, Sakana and Hag. So just waiting here to see what players go out. All right, so also looks like Kraken's been taken for Fisherman. We've got Vet Siren as well there at the end. So we could definitely go in for that sort of smothered in 2-inch melees.
And just mix it, to have the option to be able to mix it up between damage. It's interesting looking at the general engineers lineup.
Yeah.
Without the damage buffs to punch through, your targets to actually take out are actually quite limited. JJ using Compound because Compound's the man, the realest guy in the room.
Yeah. And gone for regular velocity, so not going double keeper. We've gone for Hoist, Ratchet, Ballista, Compound, Velocity, and Mother.
I believe we discussed this during the British Championships. When you're playing against a team that, the amount of close control, especially under Legendary, that Corsair can put out, you get yourself into a situation where the best way of getting the ball off your opponent is just leaving them a gap to score, and then you control the ball from that point.
Yep.
You go with double keeper and you really make that awkward and put them off going for it.
Yes.
You can accidentally shoot yourself in the foot by a player doing what you put them in the lineup to do and then realising you don't actually want that role.
That happening, yeah. Players there just talking to each other, just clarifying what everybody's defensive stats are, getting ready for the quite obvious melee that will ensue with a Corsair-led football team.
Yeah, it's interesting because both teams, in terms of the way that the team goes about getting takeouts, it's a very similar process to it. Corsair has an easier time of doing it, but they both, to get someone dead, they make a ball around someone.
Yep.
Corsair's very capable of pulling those balls apart, but there's plenty of players within that engineers team that are very good at breaking out of it.
Yeah.
You've got Velocity, who could just move to the edge of 2-inch melee, acrobatics out,
Yep.
just to be a
She's
pain.
away.
Be like, I'm aware I'm just outside of your melee, but you've now got to drag me back in.
Yep.
Hoist can push dodge his way out.
Yep.
Ballistic and deadbolt his way out.
He can push dodge and he can just burrow away if Mother's close enough.
True.
Compound's a pain to... If you are going to take him out, that's damage to everybody and poison that you then have to spend turns clearing, and he probably won't be in that position anyway. He's not a attractive target to drag in because of his gluttonous mass. You've got to do it twice.
Well, something that's interesting is Compound doesn't really, because generally speaking, Corsair is going to drag you in.
Yeah,
the countercharge is. It's
pretty
probably not going to be... most of the engagement you would imagine in terms of takeout style stuff is going to be on the side, the fisherman player's side of the pitch, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, yeah. Well,
he's going to drag him behind that halfway line, and he's going to sit with the ball somewhere safe.
Yeah,
probably it's going to be a nice, slow... I'm going to try and get probably 2 takeouts, then maybe go for my first goal.
Yeah.
Assume you got nothing in response after I got my 2 takeouts, and then just churn
either
it
just
through
go for 2 more takeouts, or if they go for, if JJ says, "Oh, I'm just going to score," then I'll have a goal in response. Then
push to 8, and then decide what the best thing to do is from there.
Yeah.
Looking at the,
there are some squishy players in that lineup for
sure.
For JJ. Hag, if you can get over the fact she has fear. She is a 4-0 model with, 14 boxes?
Vet Siren Ballista's pretty capable of getting rid of.
Yeah.
Because he not really bothered about the 4-inch dodge away, because he just hold
the crossbow bolt for her. Yeah. So just waiting for the kick-off here. That's not how the influence has been allocated. They've just put it down next to the models.
So round is live. So we're now just waiting for them to get going. At least judging on the other tables, round is live.
Yeah. I think they're getting themselves all sorted. Big matchup between... so, for those of you who've not been following along via the website, England's teams 2 and 3 both got knocked out of the tournament in round 1. So this is England's only hope in the WTC.
Yeah. So they lost their chance to win. With the round
they can still,
losses.
All the teams can still podium, though.
Yes.
And the USA all won their matchups, so they've got a very good shout, as did the glorious nation of Steamforged. They won all their matchups.
Yep. Rigged, right?
Rigged.
That's how it is. We have to be entirely neutral.
Yeah.
That's the rules.
Yeah. We're entirely neutral in favour of Steamforged.
We're rooting for Ivory Coast.
Yeah. Come on, Ivory Coast. Met those guys outside recently.
Yeah.
Got pictures there on Twitter. It's incredible to see. We said it in the previous video, but obviously we weren't live then. It's just awesome to see a nation from outside Europe and sort of the Australian and the guys who usually attend the WTCs. It's awesome to see a nation turn up and make the effort to get here for it.
Yep, 100%. That's why they're my pick. Even if they lose, they win.
Yeah.
And my other favourite is Russ Charles, our sculptor.
Yeah.
Because in his first game, he got 2 goals and a takeout with Scum. And I'm a
10 VP from the mascot.
I'm a big advocate for any mascot that gets you VP, or any player that goes out of their way to get VPs with mascots.
Yeah. So in the previous video, we said JJ would by hook or by crook get onto this.
Yeah, we knew it would happen.
I
reckon he's done this intentionally.
Yeah, I reckon he's like, this is a terrible matchup for me, but I want to be on the stream.
JJ, we had a really interesting talk with JJ last night where he was telling us all about his 50-50 math thing.
Yeah, so JJ seemed to believe that regardless of the actual odds, everything's a 50-50 because it will happen or it won't.
He definitely said that. He definitely wasn't entirely against us telling him that.
That was his statement, not ours.
100%. And Charles Nurser, an actual
50%.
mathematician, then backed up the theory.
Yeah.
Because he's too nice to tell us we're wrong.
Yeah. So we just had the announcement from the TOs there. You can now start playing, and I believe it is engineers to kick off to fishermen.
Looks like it.
Who would you kick off with?
Compound, because I'm not good at this game.
Yeah.
Compound's
legitimately not a bad choice, though.
Because he can't be dragged. You're putting him forward, but you can't drag him in.
Well, you can, but you spend far too much influence to do it. Like, if you do it with Kraken, he has 1 shot at it. Well, he's going to trigger it, and then that's it, done. If you go with Corsair, that's 4 of his 6 influence if he's got the 6. Probably has to spend 1 to sprint to get there.
But on the counter, once Compound's in, he is one of the easier players on that engineer's team to get rid of.
Yeah.
I mean...
But as we said, that if you want to take in Compound and you want to break through all that 20 boxes and blow him up...
I feel like doing that, you're perhaps giving up too much momentum in the process.
Yeah.
I mean, generally speaking, you'd say the safe bets, as long as the positioning of Mother and Hoist is good, Hoist's a pretty safe kick because he can just burrow back out. It's kind of that you want to send someone up.
Or Mother kicks.
You have the control over how many hits they take, knowing they're not going to die, and then it's just I'm going to drag it. Once you've done everything you can to get him back in, he's going and he's gone.
Yeah. I think Mother's not a terrible choice as well, because she can just self-burrow away.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Does Hoist have Sturdy? Am I making that up? Does he have Sturdy or Stoic?
Yes, he is... Oh, Sturdy. Sturdy. He's still be pushed around.
Losing that knockdown that Corsair is going to try and do. Yeah, I think it's probably Hoist for me.
He is Sturdy, is he?
He does have
Sturdy.
Yeah.
Yes!
But I think it's probably...
Nailed it!
Probably Hoist.
Got my 1 for the match.
Is it Velocity, I think JJ's gone for? So perhaps he's just going to go up and force the, you've got to try this on me now, because I'm going to throw up Nimble if you don't. And
then it's 6s. Yeah. Handshake from the lads there.
And we're off.
And it is Velocity kicking off.
So just so those that are watching are aware of the whole situation, I'll get it out of the way while the kickoff's going. We do not have the dice cam.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you do not get to see Jamie's beautiful face. Unfortunately, being in Belgium and having to send out expensive equipment and whatnot, the setup isn't as convenient to get going as it is when you're 10 minutes away from your main office.
So we've got the table. We've got the table.
we've just got the table. You've got the table and us talking.
Yeah,
which is
that's all you
need.
Right?
That's
all you need. Yeah. Velocity's kick there is successful. And is positioned. JJ is going 4 in the 3 inches. Or 3 inches in the 4. 3 inches in the 4.
4 in the 3 inches. A very interesting way of saying that.
Yeah. Yep. Every time. But this
it's when you're playing, right? When you roll, when you do the scatter, you always, I always do it where I'm like, how do I know what these two dice mean.
Yeah.
But this is a really hard thing to wrap my tongue
4
around
in the
saying.
3. Yeah. But the positioning of the kick there, I think quite rarely to kick off with velocity. She has the longest range of kicks, so can put it into the weirdest part of the pitch.
Yeah,
and this is now Kraken has to go sprint, get it, will not be in range to.
She's got
pass
the ability with that. It's the advantage you get with any player that you choose to kick with such a long kick range. Is irrelevant of where they've deployed with the ball. You haven't really showed where you're intending to kick the ball. So it can make it awkward for the player that's receiving to deploy. The Fish, obviously, with the lineup he's going, want to cluster up and start the beatdown brigade. But maybe should have spread out more with his deployment. He's left himself not spread out. And having one of the slower players out on the flank like that, I get trying to get the coverage of the harpoons out there.
Yeah. But that is a mighty piece of rough ground as well.
Yeah.
In the middle of the pitch there. So, influence allocation. Looks like we're going quite heavy for the drags in. And then wanting to probably just start working away at players.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely one of the... So, the Corsair, I played one of my first games against it the other day. Other week, sorry. And it was an awakening as to how punchy that team actually is.
He's what, tack 6 with a 5-long playbook?
Yeah, Corsair's got the
but he's essentially almost
playbook.
Always permanently tack 8. With all your 2-inch melee, it's so rare that he ever just goes in by himself. And with the amount of reposition he has, I believe I've said it on these streams before, where I legitimately believe Corsair has one of the, if not the best playbook in the game in terms of every time you roll the dice, you'll get something useful.
We're going with Vet Siren here. She's shed like 2 inches forwards and is sprinting to go pick the ball up. 5.5 inches forward, so snap the ball, and then 3.5 back into play, and then she can kick the ball probably to Hag. Putting it somewhere you want it to be. And the half. 3 left on her. Passing the ball to Hag. I like the beach ball they've got. It's successful. Generating the momentum for the fisherman. And then the dread gaze. JJ very quickly, compound stay still, and you back onto you. Compound is happy.
Yep.
To do this. And then next turn, sprint mother put down nest, back to you.
Yeah, I imagine you're going to see a lot of that. I'm not sure if it would be Mother or if it would be Velocity Nimble.
Yeah, Velocity Nimble.
I may have even gone with Velocity Nimble there.
Velocity Nimble getting to cover.
The one option of
drag in.
You need to start passing around to get the range to be able to drag in.
I mean,
and at that point, I'm just going to start moving people out of the way as you try to set it up. I'm just going to counterplay everything you do.
Yeah. I mean, Hag is fantastic for this matchup because, this fish team, because she has the fish's reel for free.
Yeah,
the talisman, just bringing people faster, like get Kraken, get Corsair in.
If Corsair gets that and then receives a pass, Corsair has just doubled his movement.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And then you got the legendary as well, which probably wouldn't want to do just yet, but has such potential just to throw the field into complete disarray.
Yeah.
When everyone
punch
moves
a hole,
2 inches.
You want to go for your goal run to close it out, punch a hole, get someone out of trouble.
Looking for a pass, gets it.
Get someone in range to take a shot without taking a counter charge. There's so many applications to that legendary.
And then Fishers. So we had a pass to Corsair there, which was successful. So 2 momentum for the Fisherman player, for Jacob. And then uses Fisher's Reel to dodge Sakana 2 inches forwards. Yep. And she's still got her advance to go, so then just bringing her into the centre of the pitch. And Tentacles tag along. So much movement happened from one activation. Yep. And if you wanted to have Corsair dodge 4 inches forwards, that would be 3-4 players moved in one activation.
One of my personal favourite things that I've seen done with Hag is Fisher's Reel someone into tap-in range past to them for the
snapshot.
For the snapshot.
Yeah.
Because snapshots are the best.
Uh-huh. So JJ here saying, I know where I want to go. I'm going to hit tentacles and I'm going to hit Hag.
Dump my plate. I'm just trying to work out
best way to do this. Do you mind if I just put it under the model? Because that's, and Jacob there, yep, that's cool. Let's measure. They're an inch, just over an inch away. Put it under.
This is a ratchet.
It's ratchet going, obviously. Long bomb. Not long bomb. Always get that wrong. Rough ground bomb. That's the technical.
Blasted Earth, the one you're
that's
looking
the
for?
one. That's the one. Rough ground bomb. That's what it's been errated to right now. Red crayon. Rough ground bomb. So
I get it wrong too. It's not Blasted Earth. It's Blast Earth.
Yeah.
We'll get there in the end. Maybe I read the cards that are directly in front of me.
Maybe you do.
Because I'm sure not leaving that to you
No.
after the British Championships. Pretty sure this is what the card says, Jamie. The card's in front of you. Just read it.
So,
that's not what the card says.
Misses on Hag, but it does hit Tentacles. So Tentacles takes 2 damage there and generates a point of momentum for JJ from Momentous Inspiration for being close to Ballista. Interestingly, if that would have hit Hag, that's 2 damage off her, wouldn't have triggered Fear because it doesn't target her.
Yeah, it's an AoE that targets a point on the pitch rather than a player specifically.
It's one of those things that when you don't use AoE abilities a lot, it's very tricky to remember those kind of things because you just think it gets through Gluttonous Mass, it gets through Fear, it gets through all these defensive techs. It's not targeting, it's just hitting an area.
Yep.
Doesn't need line of sight to anyone.
I've played people in the past that then get confused with so does that mean Rising Anger doesn't trigger? And it's like, no, the trigger for that is taking damage. It still triggers that.
So there was a pass there from Corsair to Sakana. He successfully did it, and probably looking now at a dodge with Sakana.
Sakana's so good.
Sakana's fantastic. He's just one of those players who can do... He'll either go score you a goal, or he'll generate you 4 very reliable momentum.
Yep. Just great counter-attacking, and the first one is free. He's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yep.
And in a Corsair team... It's not always, but in some situations, weak point's fantastic.
Stripping the armor point with 1 damage as well, just pushing that goal. So what we saw measuring there, Jacob's got his widgets out now. He's taking the dodge, but just remaining out of sprint and out of charge range of velocity. I assume then velocity only has 2 influence on her. Otherwise, we've got the acrobatic as well.
Yeah. And the death ball is forming.
Yeah. So, JJ here saying, I've got these super handy 3D printed other pie plate things just to put down so you can see where the edge of it is. And allows you to position it on top of models. Really quite cool. I could definitely use them in my smoke team.
According to your blog, you're not playing smoke anymore, Jamie.
I know. I'm moving on to Union now. I've plenty of changes. I've run that team about 18 times.
So what were you were running smoke for a while, then you went back to Brewers for a bit, then you went to a tournament with smoke, and now you're looking at Union, right?
Yeah. Map that out.
Yeah. So you decided you really liked 2-inch melee for a bit.
Yeah.
Then decided that you liked going nowhere near anyone for a bit.
I found out I actually had more 2-inch melee in the team that liked to avoid everybody.
Yeah, and then realised maybe I take a team that can have loads of 2-inch melee and likes to go towards them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my rough map of how you got to there. And because Blackheart's awesome.
It's because I used to love, absolutely adored playing Brewers back in Season 1 and 2, and that was when their main ethos was the 2-inch beta team.
Yeah.
And the proper bruisers.
Big ball of
death.
With usually the ball on mash or scum at the back. Come and get it.
Come and take it.
Annihilate whoever
as
you
comes
send
in
to come and get it.
But with the releases there, essence, their sort of mentality changed from 2-inch melee beta to all-round like football and beating, and so the game I played with them is very different from now, and I realised I'm not as good as I once was with Brewers, so I want to try a different team.
So he's throwing down a smoke.
Yep.
Then I believe he's going for a sprint, and he wants to try and engage. It's
Compound.
definitely Compound. Who's the player next to Compound?
I believe that's Ratchet. Oh no, it's Ballista. It's Ballista. So going for the bounce off him. Take 5, +4 for the charge,
So 9
-1
dice,
for
lose
compound.
1 for compound. So 3s, no armor because of anatomical.
Yep. Oh, it's just a... I think it wasn't a charge. I think it was just a long walk.
Sprint. Yep.
Momentous dodge.
Oh, just a walk, not even a sprint. He's got a cloud down.
Yep.
And then he's going for the shot.
And shot on goal. So players there just clarifying that no longer engaged, but the ball path goes over compound, so you're on 3 up to 4. So Jacob there, down 1, but back up for bonus time, scores a goal. So that is 4-0 to Jacob. And then he's going to
use that momentum to go for the dodge.
Yeah, run the length, 4 inches back into cover.
He's gone backwards. So obviously you don't have the player mics, we do. But we heard Jacob say he kind of hadn't realised that he was going to be losing a dice for where he had placed himself after that dodge, and he'd kind of said, "Oh, maybe I should have just left myself engage in compound."
Yeah.
And then said, "No, it doesn't matter." So I'm assuming he always knew he was going to dodge, which is why he was like, "There's no point in going back now." But I'm curious as to whether he should have just left himself engaging or just left himself there as just an irritating model to deal with. You know, poised means you won't get in a situation where he's knocked down and you can't clear it because your counter attack is free to try anyway. Ties up some players, just makes life a bit awkward, and is a snapshot turret, especially on that Corsair Legendary turn.
Oh, the Corsair Legendary turn's amazing for snapshots. What we have left this turn, though, to activate, I believe, is Kraken. For the Kraken and Tentacles for Fisherman.
I believe Mother, Hoist, and Velocity.
Looks like,
for the Engineers. So it's interesting that Jacob's gone for kind of the opposite strategy you can go with Corsair, which is get up and then grind out the end by dragging people in. Which is, I mean, it makes sense because it gives your opponent the opportunity to break out from the line where it is, send them into the positions where they want them set up.
Oh, sorry, this is the player activated now is Ballista and it's deadbolting Sakana.
Right.
Velocity went early on, remember. That's a successful hit, so that's 3 damage, 2-inch push. Or was it 2 damage, 3-inch push? I always forget those two.
I think it's 3 damage,
2-inch push, and knockdown.
Generally speaking, there aren't any 3-inch pushes.
No. And then momentum generated.
But yeah, with Jacob going the other way around, it means JJ sets where he wants his players and then needs to move them out of position to readjust to the repositions of Corsair rather than starting in a line ready to react to what he's doing straight off the bat.
Yeah, and JJ there was just measuring out, walking forwards to go punch Sakana because now he's on the floor. However, he said, if I just go there, next turn Corsair pulls me in and does all sorts of nasty stuff to me, which would happen.
I remember back when I played at tournaments relatively regularly, I actually played JJ using Corsair.
Yeah. This is a pass from
a lesson I would hope he does not
Ballista
forget.
to Velocity. It is successful. He has 2 momentum in the can and could take a 4-inch dodge and potentially go for goal. But he chooses to keep it. I don't think he should. I think he should. So JJ here is just going through the motions. 4-inch dodge with a walk. Puts him in.
Was Kraken still to activate but has no influence?
Believe so, yeah. I think the influence that we saw on him at the beginning was actually potentially Sirens. So yeah. Just had it there from JJ. There's no influence left on the Fisherman's side on the board, so he's pretty free to do what he wants here.
Because it's at a point where I believe JJ's on 2 momentum, assuming those yellow tokens behind his goal are momentum.
They are, yes. They come from the...
The Fish player's on 1 with no influence remaining. You're at a point where, assuming the goal goes in, assume you bonus time it, which you don't necessarily have to do with Velocity if you want to be a bit more greedy. You go into a roll-off for turn 2 where the ball could be anywhere at +2 to then rattle in a second goal, and then the whole game changes.
Yeah, flips it on its head. We've also got Hoist left to activate, and he looks to have a small stack on him, so... And let's say True Replication for
Blast Earth.
Blast Earth, Blasted Earth, Rough Ground Bombs.
Blast Earth.
Rough Ground Bombs.
The RGBs.
RGBs.
We rename that one.
Yeah,
we can rename that one.
We can get on board with that. Getting within 4 of Ballista to make sure he gets the momentous inspiration.
Yep.
Going to hit all 3 players there. So, see.
So it just needs to hit one of them and he gets the momentum. And I assume that's basically the intent of this. Is the damage is cool, but
oh, he's been tooled up as well. So that's 3 damage on tentacles. Misses Hag again. Hag misses, and on Kraken, needing 3s. Gets him, so another 3 damage, which goes down to 2 for Tough Hide. And then the exact same again, and that could potentially take out Tentacles. I think he might have 1 left after it. 3 damage on Tentacles.
So Tentacles does have 1 left.
Tentacles have 1 left.
Velocity
gets it on Hag.
And then score.
Nice work from
on Velocity.
I think it's just the 1 from the looks of it.
Okay,
I think it was just going to be a nimble.
Probably not the right call.
No, not the goals there. But he's now on full momentum against 0. So
it's definitely not the right call.
Is it not?
To go for a takeout rather than the goal.
Oh yes, sorry, yeah. So the Fisherman player there with his 1, Jacob spending his 1 momentum to heal Tentacles 4 because he knows he is that potential takeout, losing activation, and he's an additional 2-inch melee with blind.
It's slow, doesn't help, but you look at the momentum.
Yeah,
you may as well spend it at that point. Like if you're going to be winning this initiative roll, it's a lucky roll.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter entirely what the odds on that are. You know you're going to need to be lucky at some point in there.
So JJ there pointing down his proxy base saying, that's too far for me to just walk and do it. I'd have to glide there and then take a shot, which he's chosen to glide, taking the shot, and bonus timing it. So spending 3 momentum. Hopefully he scores it, he says, and then he'll be up by 2 momentum going into the next roll-off.
I'm really bad at dice maths, but the odds on a screamer aren't terrible.
50-50?
Is it 50-50? It's not. It's 6s is never 50-50. That breaks the rule.
Okay, that breaks the rule.
No, it doesn't break the rule. This being a screamer is a 50-50. It either will be a screamer or it won't be a screamer. Yeah. That's the maths on it.
Yep.
That's JJ's maths theory.
It is.
That's how that works.
Just you wait and see.
Mathematician approved.
Yeah. So base just does not want to stand on that rough ground. Players say, just leave it there. It's cool. It's stood up. We know where it's meant to be.
Goes for the 3-dice shot.
JJ's there saying a 3 dice is probably good enough, but if he misses this, he's out in hot water, so he needs to take 4 dice. And gets it.
Yeah.
So that is 4 to JJ. And then knee slider to take an 8-inch dodge.
So assuming the dice roll goes the way that the momentum is looking, you're looking at a state of the game where, the more awkward part for the fish player, Jacob, at this point is where does he kick the ball back out to? Yeah.
Well, see, that's why I was thinking, Velocity coming this deep over, is it the best choice? Or would you have just rather kept Velocity up there with them and be like, you can't give the ball to these guys because Velocity's going to take it.
Yeah, I would have probably kept her up there.
If you send it over this way, Ballista will knock you down and make it scatter.
Very similar situation that we had in the previous game with Fillet.
Yep.
Where Reanimate kind of ruins all of her setup.
Yeah.
It's a similar thing where the knockdown helps so much and that going can alter the chances on that.
Mm-hmm. So ball scatters 1 to the 1 and lands nicely. Oh, that's a 6.
That is away from both close control players.
That's not where the 1 is on the template though. That was the 6.
No, that's the one.
No, that is the 1. I'm looking at it upside down.
Yeah, that is the one.
Yeah, it's the 1. I really wanted it to go on tentacles.
No, I'm really glad that it went that direction because. I really want it to go onto either Tentacles or Corsair because Jacob remembered to do it. He actually remembered to kick the ball out after it was scored at the end of a turn, because so often that gets forgotten.
Forgotten about. Yeah.
And then it gets to a point where JJ will be on his clock looking at sorting out his influence, and he'll go, "Where's the ball?" And they'll go, "Oh, I didn't kick it out."
Oh. It is also one of those really frustrating things where you like allocate your influence. You're like, "Where's the ball?" There. I need to change a lot.
My influence is not correct.
It's not well now.
Here now.
And this does change the turn drastically.
So both players with an extra goal influence.
Our runner's just gone off, so I assume the camera might get fiddled with in a second, because a couple of people commenting about it. We shall see. So JJ there winning the roll off and choosing to go first. Clock's being pushed forward a little bit. We see we've got 33 minutes on JJ's clock and 36 minutes on Jacob's.
I'm not sure clock's going to come into this one.
No, me either. They're both great players.
I say that.
I think they're both great players, and they both know how to score a goal when it's on the table, and it will come down to who is better at preventing the goals and who's better at keeping their guys alive.
Yeah. I mean, I think the moment the ball is killed, assuming scoreline's equal, Jacob
takes the advantage, I think.
But because, assuming JJ goes for a goal now, because of the way that sits...
The whole 8-4, I can't score because you'll just score.
Yeah.
Jacob then has to start fighting.
Yeah.
Which this team is more than capable of with Corsair and all the 2-inch melees.
It's actually not a particularly easy goal run either. You're 2 players to bounce off.
Yeah. Sorry. JJ just said, this is jank, but I'm doing it. It's 50-50 chance.
Because Tentacles and Corsair are both pretty grim targets in terms of a counter, like the
close
counter
control
stuff.
The countering.
He needs to go in, charge, dodge, and pick up the ball on the dodge.
On the dodge, yeah. He doesn't want to do it yet because the counter attack's too good. I think I'm not sure if he's declaring it on Corsair or on Tentacles.
I believe he said Corsair. Because Corsair is 3-1, whereas the...
Tentacles is 4-1, so it gets to 5-1 and needs to hit.
Corsair at most goes to 4-1. And on 8 dice...
So Corsair...
7 dice, sorry.
Yeah, so it has, just clarifying from the players, has been declared against Corsair, has declared a defensive stance, and there are counter-attacks coming through from Sakana and Hag.
Parting blows, you mean?
Yes, that's what did I say?
Counter-attacks.
Okay, yeah, I mean point blows.
It can only be damage.
It's damage, and she doesn't really care about that.
Bothered about damage.
Two damage done to velocity, and then
I'm
Hag.
sure JJ is very upset.
Yeah.
When he was planning the line, he just said, "I'm going to take a load of parting blows, but you can only damage me." So.
And then 1 point damage from Hag. That's the most she's ever done in the history of Guildball.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that a fact?
It's a fact.
What about when you tool her up?
It's impossible.
I thought I'd get you. I know how bad you are at remembering cards. I thought I'd get you.
I did play Fisherman for a while. And there's so many times.
Where the obsession with 2-inch melee began?
Yeah, it is. It is. I
think I have so much room to move here.
I went from them, I think, to like Butchers. I was like, how does everybody make attacks? And how do you counter things? Everyone just stays away from you.
So the dice roll
so
on
big
the
roll.
charge coming in here. It's a good roll.
We roll because it's not in the tray, he says.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
He's got this.
It's exactly what he needed.
Momentous double dodge.
Grab the ball, pop it in the goal.
Kick it in the goal. As the Battle Hammer like to say.
That's. I'm not sure I agree with JJ with his. This is jank.
No, it's pretty.
That was just a charge through a line of parting blows that you can only take damage from each. Pick up the ball and have a shot on goal.
Yeah. So JJ here saying, do I nimble or do I acrobatic? And the only thing that matters here is does acrobatic put him in tap-in range. So acrobatics puts you within 4 inches.
You might lose velocity, but the amount that it takes, and more importantly, the whole team has to turn
around and do it. And then
that's a lie. The whole team doesn't have to move anywhere.
No, you drag her to you.
Harpoon, you're coming to me.
Yeah. All right, so 4 dice shot, needing 3s.
So last round, JJ lost a 5 dice tap in. So let's see if he can.
Gets it.
He does get it.
And takes it. Goes to 8 for JJ. And says, I'm just going to chill here, keep the momentum, might need it later on. Over to you.
At that point, it's...
Jesus.
I'm not sure I would have gone for the defensive stance.
He didn't. The counter attack.
Oh, is it a counter attack?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I'd have bothered.
Yeah. So ball being placed here, and seeing which direction goes out into.
Yeah, I mean, I look at that, and it's you are spending momentum to. It's when you're spending a momentum where you are trying to stop something that is actively your opponent's plan to do, if that makes any sense. So say Corsair was on 1 health and didn't have tough hide, and Velocity's going in trying to do 1 damage.
I can't even imagine Corsair on 1 health. Sorry.
No.
This whole thing that you're talking about is just
entirely made up.
In my head, it's just white space around me. I'm like, I can't.
But you say you send in a player that can do 2 damage, and Corsair's on 1 health.
Yeah.
And you think, I'll chuck in a counter attack because I've got tough hide. You need to roll her in your playbook to do the 2 damage. This is a worthwhile counter attack.
Yeah.
When it is something like, if you double dodge, I just lose my counter attack.
Yeah.
It's kind of no point.
Yeah.
Much like JJ's done there. He's like, well, if Velocity's going to die, she's going to die wherever she is. There's no point wasting the momentum to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the defensive stance would have been the correct call there.
I don't think I'd have spent either. I don't think I'd have worried
I think
about
if you're going to do one of them, defensive stance to make the...
At least get guaranteed, guaranteed worth out of it, but more likely to have an effect. Like you know that your opponent is looking for the result to get the disengage.
Yeah. And if she stays engaged, she's very unlikely to hit that dodge again to get out.
Interesting that we're seeing measurements to the goal come out.
I think we're looking at potentially a sprint forwards from Corsair Legendary, so measuring the 8 inches. Can he go get a goal immediately? But then, as we said, if he does that...
to consider.
Yeah. I think all this is being taken into consideration. But the goal itself, if it does go in, it's one of those...
Assuming it goes in, that's kind of game over.
Yeah. Because Hoist passes the ball to Velocity snapshot goal.
Yep, that's definitely the best way to do that.
Yep. Or you give it to Ballista.
Just run up the middle and
Legendary. Breach. Legendary goal. Jacob there saying it's really tempting. He thinks he can do it.
Oh, I definitely think he can do it. I just think in the grand scheme of the game, you're then putting your chances of winning in the hands of a missed dice shot.
We're hearing a Corsair charge onto Ballista.
Has he forgotten counter charge?
We shall find out, won't we?
I mean, he does have... There's kind of nothing that counter charge can do to him.
It's also the line of sight for it.
Well, it doesn't... He's got Stoic and Sturdy, right? Corsair?
Brace for Impact has been played. Yes, he has been, yeah. But he can take the push.
He's got Stoic.
Oh, sorry, I thought he said Sturdy.
He's got both, hasn't he?
Oh.
Maybe? Or is it... I know he's got 3. No, it might be close control, tough hide,
He's got close control, tough hide, Sturdy. And the card there played by JJ was...
and yeah, I think he has...
Brace for Impact.
They're just basically looking at the line to see if he has blocked it with the charge path, because there's the only route where he can get him. But I disagree with that. I think he can come round the side.
I think he's accepting it.
But he's seeing if he can just move to, like, I'll take my counter charge, I'll fail it, but I'll block. I'll make the shot
line of sight, I'll make
the
shot 5s. It doesn't declare the counter charge. Attack 6 basic, +4 for the charge.
And more importantly, JJ surely knows that he wants this goal to go in.
Yeah.
You don't want to make it harder, you want this to go in.
Well, I think potentially JJ could be sort of double bluffing almost, and like, oh, I could make this shot harder. But
granted, I say he wants this to go in, so he'd realistically, if the shot misses, any player that scatters to hasn't activated and is an engineer. So
yeah. Just looking here at what results being taken. Mentis 3 and a 1-inch push, which goes down to 2, and Stoic triggers, so no pushes. And takes instead the Mentis knockdown. Good spot in there from JJ to say, yep, if you didn't realise, take that back, have it.
It very much plays into JJ's kind of...
That's what he wants.
In the grand scheme of things, if this goes in...
Yeah. So
a nice quick game is in the...
yeah. looking for 2s and 1, so expecting a decent amount here. 5 net hits. So it takes 2 damage and the double push. So just reading your chat stuff. I'll read it out for Alex here. It says, I don't think we have a gibbling camera for this stream, which is pretty distressing. I have a second screen set up just with this photo. Well, I'm glad some of you can still enjoy. I guess.
Yep. And ignore that I'm here. Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Wow. Poor Alex.
So mean.
Justice
forever in Giblin's shadow.
Justice for Alex.
Forever in Giblin's shadow.
Oh dear. Except if this was a Dark Souls stream, I'd be definitely stood behind you going, "Hello, I'm relevant."
Notice me. I'm perfectly happy living in your shadow.
Yeah.
People scare me.
Alex who? Who is Alex? Wow.
I hope you all like marbles being able to countercharge.
Yeah. And
leave that one out there.
Gets the goal.
So shot goes in.
Shot goes in, and he gets a vengeance token for his efforts.
Wow. Poor guy. Oh. and both players going, well, this was a good game.
And Jacob's like, well, do I dodge? Do I stay where I am? I've got a vengeance token on me.
I think you dodge just to see Corsair dodge 4 inches.
Yeah.
For the first time in his life.
Yeah. He's never felt the wind through his hair so fast. Which also means that the legendary's up, for what it's worth.
Yeah, for what it's worth.
What it's worth.
Interestingly, if he misses the shot, it's potentially worth a lot because the snapshot's on. I'm pretty sure Sakana's in range for a snapshot from there with a 10-inch shot
kick.
range.
410 kick.
Like, if he misses the shot, you just have Vet Siren turn round, scoop it up. You can probably get far enough with the legendary up to get in range to boost her to an 8 for the pass for the snapshot.
Yeah.
The issue is I say the issue is the momentum. You get the momentum from the pass. There's still 2 there.
Yeah, that's enough for a snap. For
sure. Maybe it's not as much of a write-off as we thought.
No. What colour are Alex's eyes?
They change colour. So they're like
murky grey.
They're like a weird murky grey. I'm not an orc. They're like sometimes blue, sometimes green, sometimes a weird browny yellowy colour.
Yeah.
Depends on what mood I'm in. Usually they're
You're one of those.
Usually they're grey.
Usually they're grey.
I remember I did an interview when we were at Insomnia a few years ago.
I remember having seen that.
And in the thumbnail, it was an interview when we had...
With Game?
It was an interview with Game just after the Dark Souls Kickstarter had finished. The Pledge Manager was open.
Yeah.
And we were there, and the guys from the Game...
Oh my goodness, Captain America's on the table.
The Game community guys came around and asked for an interview.
Yeah.
And the camera they had was very big, and the light they had attached to it was like a football stadium floodlight. And they're like, can we just take a photo for the thumbnail?
It did look pretty washed out.
And, oh
sides.
my, I wish my eyes were that blue.
So JJ here, just measuring out the potential...
Just looking how many ways he could try and
score.
Basically wrap the game up.
Yeah. I think there's a potentially replicate burrow, sprint, shot, or sprint, pass to...
I think it's
snapshot.
undeniable that at the end of all of this there will be a shot.
Yes.
I think the most intriguing part out of all of it that I will be 100% honest and say I discounted at first, now that legendary's up, is how big it is if he misses.
Yeah. I mean, getting the ball back off these players with close control, they're easy access to dodge where they go, counter-attack.
Yep.
You've tackled it, awesome, I'm away.
Yep.
Like, it's a horrible, horrible place to be in. Or in Corsair's case, you failed to tackle it, I'll push you away.
100%.
And so, JJ here just carefully measuring up the hoist goal / hoist pass to snapshot. He's got all the time on his clock. He's got 28 minutes, 29 minutes or so. So he's got time to plan it out. Just checking the...
He's just going to be...
Parting blow options. Just figure everything out. Make sure the safest thing happens.
Yeah. Just sort of assessing... Because I'm sure JJ's a significantly better player than me. I'm sure he's more than aware of the risk that comes with this shot missing. So he's just going to be, what is the best odds? I can tell you now, JJ. 50-50.
50-50.
Goes in or it doesn't.
All the odds. All the odds. It's definitely a tough one. So with Hoist, he's got to sprint backwards to pick the ball up, go forward. So that burrow plan I talked about a second ago just isn't on the cards at all, actually. The scatter not helping JJ out.
But he doesn't... Maybe he does need to be in a rush.
And there's the potential for Mother to drop the nest marker at webbing, pick the ball up, burrow to that one, walk, pass.
To velocity?
Yes, and then snapshot from the pass.
Yeah, I believe from the amount of thought going into it that JJ wants to make this shot not as a snapshot.
Yes, yeah.
But how long can he keep that ball safe? I mean, looking at the influence spread, you've got a potential legendary from Hag to move everyone up.
Yeah.
Corsair can't do much with where that ball is.
No.
JJ and Jacob just basically discussing the threat range of Siren, and basically she can get to the ball and then get a compound in her face.
Yeah. There's definitely options for JJ, because if Hag does the legendary and Fisher's Reel to push someone forward, it's a telegraph move that this player is coming for the ball, so you need to activate now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how scatters can affect a game.
I know, right? So we're looking at potentially Mother here, getting within an inch. I think she drops it off to Hoist, pops down a nest marker further up the pitch, and blocks line of sight to him.
Possibly, yeah.
From Kraken, from Siren.
Yeah. Does still have Sakana down there. I don't know how much influence Sakana's got, but
yeah. So Mother there, moving the ball, putting it onto Hoist with the snap on snap.
Yep. And then 6
Hoist
inches of movement left from where Mother is to just move up.
And then blocking the line of sight
Drag
through to Hoist. Yeah. And he also wants it to be more than 10 inches away from Shadowlike and Svet Siren's overall threat, so she can't Shadowlike.
Too much maths for me.
Walk,
sounds a lot like
hit,
trigonometry.
bounce. Yeah. Lots going on here, but it is a super important activation because it's 8-8 in the game. No, you know what would be big clutch play here? Tentacles goes blinds, Hoist.
I'm intrigued to see. Like I look at the pitch as it is, and I imagine Hoist's then going to go and give the ball to Velocity somehow.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued to see whether JJ goes for that, or
I think we're seeing a
just
potential.
kind of backs up.
I think we're seeing a Sakana activation come in here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question that I haven't been able to work out yet, is how much influence is on Sakana. Because initially I thought Compound might have been a pretty safe spot for the ball.
Yeah.
But then remembering Sakana's there, depending on how much influence, if he's got 2...
Whatever, yeah.
Compound's a super safe space for the ball.
Yeah.
Sure, you can punch through and you can tackle me, but that's it.
Yeah.
And then it's just a case of players getting as much momentum as possible.
So, with Sakana starting in cover, can walk just 8 inches, and is walking to where that proxy base is to get more than 2 inches away, outside of 1 inch of Mother. Obviously, the nest marker's a bit of a pain.
Corsair, sorry, not Corsair. Sakana is
going for it. So
just checking for counter charge.
Checking the counter charge.
Whether it's intentional or not, and I guess I'll give credit because he definitely intentionally did it the first time. Jacob's been very good at using JJ's models
to block off compound.
To block off that.
Yeah. Yeah. So compound taking the counter charge to get either an intervening model or to try and block line of sight if you can buttress up to some of the players and create that sort of wall of plastic.
We did a right call, depending on how this goes, but we did a right call with Sakana being great.
4-0 for Anatomical. Kissing the dice there. Good
Blew
luck.
them. He did bonus time it.
Bonus timing it.
Gets 2 hits.
2 hits.
So he takes
Gets the tackle.
But he has no momentum because he spent it on the bonus time.
I think he might look for the pass back to someone.
Got to pass it back to Kraken, right?
Yeah, Kraken Superstar.
And then Kraken move up, pass it to Corsair Snapshot.
Yeah.
Is what I'd go for.
Still 3 dice pass with the legendary up, so.
Yeah.
And Kraken becomes a really weird good goal scorer, 3-8 from the legendary.
Yeah.
I think that's what's scary about the Corsair legendary is that literally anyone becomes a super striker.
You pass that back to Kraken. Then you just leave Kraken where he is. As far as I'm aware, there's no real threats to him.
Oh, to bounce through and get the ball? Yeah.
Well, because once I can't gauge 6 because he's maybe got close control. Probably not. He's probably out.
I think he's definitely out of 6 inches there from.
And Hag's probably in.
Yes, Hag would
about
be
Tentacles? Go pass that to Tentacles.
Yeah, Tentacles
got close control naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go Tentacles.
Yeah.
You can't get Mother in without getting a crowd out from Hag also.
Yeah. I mean, the things to watch out for is the hoist, true replicate, burrow to the nest marker in the middle of the Guildball. Make a free attack if you want it. Probably not, but just sprint off, tackle pass, or walk away, tackle pass.
And he's passing.
Passed it. Successful. Passing to Corsair.
Of course. So that means he can't score.
Yeah. And he has his vengeance token.
And he does take a 4-inch dodge. Yeah, I think for me, I'd have gone Tentacles.
You keep the ball. You keep the ball free.
You've moved the spread of legendary you had. Not that I'm sure if that's a huge deal at this point. But you're just going to see a true ret burrow and then hoist scamper off to go.
Oh, hoist. Was Ratchet on this? Yes, he is. I mean, there's time. The ball is there now. You can forget.
You just overclock.
You overclock him. You now get all the time to set up and get everything going. I mean, what the ideal thing is the overclock. So he burrows into the center, overclock, charge in, gets a good number of hits, probably tackles twice with a vengeance token, leaves or just passes to.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting one. I mean, let's say just a simile.
Movement.
Deadbolt into Sakana.
Deadbolt into Sakana.
Putting it into Corsair.
You can put it into.
So he wanted to put it into Corsair, but is engaged by Sakana, so brings that down to a 1 dicer. Double 6 would get Corsair regardless. Generates some momentum. Not pushing, likes him where he is, but it's going to take the knockdown because he has to.
It's sturdy triggers, right?
So he did it on Sakana.
Sorry, he was on Sakana. Yes.
Yeah. Influence there wasted because JJ stood him up for his
rather than spend
the momentum, which he might come to rue. Looking at a blind.
When you just have such a grand plan, but then you forget that half of it breaks the rules.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
I think we're going to see it. We're going to see it. We're going to see the blind on hoist. Hoist. Yes.
Well done, Hoist.
Big play. Blind is definitely 8 inches. Gets it. Oh, big play. 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
Just like everything.
That was actually 50-50 as well, right? Not fake 50-50.
No, that was real 50-50. Blind's one of those amazing plays where if it goes off, it can just take a player out of the turn. -2/-2 move, -2/-2 kick, -2 tack is...
Yeah, and it's one that is so... I mean, JJ definitely was aware it was on the table. He just wasn't familiar with the range of the ability.
Yeah, he thought it was 6 inches.
He was definitely aware of it, but...
Yeah.
Hadn't planned around it. So the overclock does come in. We kind of had a feeling that was going to come.
Yeah. Walks up to engage Sakana. And buys an attack against Sakana.
So then we have the walk in and the attack. And it's 3-1 because Sakana's down from that deadbolt.
Yep.
It's not the best roll in the world.
2 hits. Momentous push. Should he not have been rolling more dice for the nest markers?
Yes. 1, 2 nest markers stack. In terms of their effect.
Yeah.
So
Or
it should have been 1 more dice or 2 more dice?
A nest marker or in range of multiple. Yeah. Players there just asking each other's ranges on things. What's the range on True Replicate? What's the range on Burrow?
Once per turn during the model's activation, the controlling player may place a friendly 30mm nest marker within 4 inches of this model. Enemy models suffer -1 die on TN tests while within 1 inch of one or more friendly markers. So they don't add, they
so
perform
don't add
the
dice.
effect of a crowd out because it's -1 on a TN, but they do not crowd out.
Yeah. They don't gang up, but they do crowd out. Yep. They effectively crowd out.
We're good at this game.
Can I reread that?
No.
Sorry. No. It says TN test.
It does say TN test, so it's kicks, everything.
Kicks, everything. That's pretty great.
Character plays.
Yeah. Shots on goal. Ugh. Trixie nests.
Trixie nests.
So just Kraken and Hag left. Looks like Vet Siren there. Moved up into the centre of the pitch.
This nice quick game is vanishing.
Oh, yeah.
Very interesting though. Like
I think
how quick it started, and then it's just.
Yeah.
But it hasn't slowed down in the same way I anticipated it to. No. It hasn't slowed down to really grindy beatdown fest. It's slowed down to not letting you have the ball.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing the ramp of JJ again towards the momentum to win initiative.
Yeah.
But the ball is on a player with close control.
Yeah. Shadowlight. So this is Hag activating Shadowlight, walk 4, so effective 6 inches movement.
And again managing to prove how bad
legendary. 7 points of damage on Hag. She's legendary and to throw all that setup out the window.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was impressed earlier when a Hag activation moved 4 players. Look at this one.
Imagine if it was Jack.
Tried and tested. Everybody leave Sakana alone, please.
Wonder if he's pushed Compound back into counter charge range. Yeah. Let me fix this for you.
Yeah. And what was looking like a good death ball.
And then her free fish is real.
Yeah. Boink.
This moves kind of back where he was. Just for a laugh.
Into cover, so he's super fast.
Yeah, nice bit of play.
Nice
it's a lot
play.
Of damage, though.
Nice play from Jacob there. Although, what was going to be probably a Sakana takeout. Now he goes, huh, hello, Hag.
Yeah.
You still have no influence. You have no momentum for the Fisherman player.
Yeah, JJ just needs to be focusing on. I mean, as I was just saying, with the ball being on a close control player, it does make actually setting up for a goal a bit harder.
Yeah.
Trying to work out who's who and where's where. I mean, looking at where the players are, it is actually hard to get a play around, even though that line through to velocity is so open.
Yes, that's what Jacob was saying when he was positioning all these. He's like, I want to make it difficult for you to get to Corsair, so I'm going to put Sakana there. I'm going to put Vet Siren in the way. Going to push Ballista in the way. Going to bring Compound's big base in the way, and then Hoist, who's at the very back of all that, needs to now get through it all.
Mm-hmm. With those burrow markers.
The nest markers do sort of invalidate quite a lot of the hard work done there. JJ here's just having a look at what everyone's health is.
I maybe shouldn't focus on the ball anymore.
Yeah.
Just try and win before you score.
Tough one.
As I say, the only misplay I saw out of that was the fact that he did push Compound back into counter charge range. Because it means that, assuming the easy play was just going to be waddle Corsair up.
I don't know, with all the models that got in the way, I don't think Corsair can get within 6 inches there. Because he can only walk 4 over the boxes.
This is true.
And you'd have to go around them, which he's just not going to get within 6 for. I think there's potential for burrows, but Hag probably has 5 health or so left after the bombs earlier.
100% honest, I have no idea how much health Hag has, but she does. She still has the fear up, right?
Yes, she does. Yeah. I think if JJ's looking for a takeout, that's the one. But
he's more concerned about the fact that he can't take out 2 players.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the weird thing is with the positioning of where Corsair is currently, I'm not convinced Corsair can score from where he is.
No, I don't think he can.
I think it's kind of a weird one where the positioning of Sakana to block the line through, which, don't get me wrong, was the right thing to do with that Vengeance token.
Yep.
But it's one of those ones where it's kind of you've removed your opportunity to sprint to get just into range because of the obstacles in the way.
So what we see here is JJ is going to true replicate Blast Earth and throw it out twice, probably to hit Hag. He's within 4 of Ballista, so gets the Momentous Inspiration, needs 4s. Doesn't get it. Hag has been dodging these. Do it again.
She's very scary.
Not bonus timing this time, wants to keep that small lead that he has. Needs a single 4+. You'd think he'd hit one of them. Gets it, 2 damage. Generates a point of momentum and leaves Hag probably on 2 or 1 health.
At most 3, but I would assume 2. I think JJ was looking for the takeout there.
Yeah, that's why he wanted that first one so much.
Yeah.
Because if he gets it, he gets the momentum, he bonus times the next one, he takes her out, gets the momentum back.
He gets 2 after, by proxy 2.
Yeah, he ends on 3.
At the end of it.
Despite spending 2, he still ends on 3 of it. So sprinting to the side, just getting in the way. Kraken to go. Still got some influence on him. It's a real sort of tense end to the game here.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those. Everything seemed to be so loose at the start. And I don't mean loose as in, really inaccurate play and sloppy or anything. It was just very loose, and it was just like this backwards, forwards. And then we knew it was going to hit a point where it suddenly was like, okay, let's slow this down.
Brick wall
now it's kind of next goal wins, so to speak. And T takes Momentous knockdown on velocity after rolling extremely well, judging on JJ's reaction.
Take away the snapshot turret, get a momentum.
Yeah, I mean, that now just removes even the danger. I mean,
of Mother.
We've seen JJ before. He will go and if the option for the snapshot is off and the option for the pass to velocity is off, he's quite happy to kick that into space and go and run onto it.
So end of turn, I think. Clearing off all the status effects, conditions.
So, something that is super interesting about the table state as it is now
Yeah.
is the fact that is not... All of the fast players in that fish team are very deep.
Yep.
If JJ does what we've seen JJ before, where he gets the ball and just kicks it way behind,
Yep.
he has all the time in the world to get the momentum he wants, for the velocity to go and collect it, because
Krakens.
he just can't get there.
Yeah.
Tentacles can't get there. Sakana and...
Ooh. Sorry to interrupt. Fisherman won the roll-off and are deciding whether to go first or second.
I mean, I don't think he can...
I think...
So he's looking for a walk to there. He's looking for a walk to there, harpoon, dodge,
Yeah.
non-momentous dodge on him.
So
he'll have no momentum after this.
walk is free.
Yeah.
You put 6 on him.
Harpoon is 2.
Harpoon is 2.
And then he
Dodge,
was saying 2
dodge.
attacks. But those dodges are non-momentous. He won't have any momentum to shoot.
But that's so walk is free.
Yes.
Harpoon is 2. 2 dodges. He has 1 for the shot and he has 1 to generate 1 point of momentum.
Oh, got you. Yes.
So it
I
would
keep
be...
thinking he can only take 5.
No.
But he can take 6?
Ooh, worth a check. Because that's one of those players...
He is 4-6, sorry.
He is 4-6, yeah.
I don't know why I thought he was 4-5.
So I guess it'd be the... He's got momentum knocked down on 1.
On 2, I believe. Yeah. So
On 2, and he's got the dodge on...
Dodges on 3.
3, so he has to get...
It's
No, it's not...
not
Well,
tacked
you
on.
you bring him in, that's reliable. You knock him down, that's reliable. And then you roll in 2 1s. 2's
It's
1.
ballista, right?
Yes, yeah. But they just checked there, that puts him in counter charge range. And he's got a vengeance token on him, so he's getting flung far away.
That makes things easy.
Yeah. So
It's the push you wanna be
Jacob
worried
there
about.
just said that the
You
worst
can't-
he can do is knock me down. I've got sturdy. I've got a vengeance token on me.
It's a peculiar perception within Guildball as a whole, across any sort of quality of player, not meaning to be derogatory towards anybody, that the best counter-attack or counter results are knockdowns.
No.
And
I'd
don't
say
get me
it
wrong,
used to be.
in this position,
Yeah.
if you could get the knockdown,
Awesome.
the scatter of the ball, so you'd think, okay, that's my best result. Is that the scatter isn't necessarily reliable in terms of shutting it down because it relies on a scatter going far enough away from them that they can't just stand up, pick it up.
Yeah.
Granted, in that situation, he'd have no momentum and the knockdown would just kill the turn.
Yeah.
But a push just guarantees,
You know what Compound's best result
now
is?
not do this anymore. It's tackle push, right?
Tackle push. With the vengeance token, tackle push, tackle push.
Take the ball, push him away, because it gets rid of close control.
Take it, push it.
Yeah.
Take it, push it.
Yep.
Disengage him.
Yep.
Harpoon him in. Ha! I've got gluttonous mass.
Yep.
That would be the.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't.
And I'm not sure what he decided to do, but he cannot take this counter charge.
No.
This is bad news bear.
Yeah. It almost makes you think he's forgotten about the vengeance token, which I'm sure he's not. He's made it onto Team USA.
Yeah, no, he's forgotten that pushes are horrible.
Well, we shall see. We shall see.
Or he's forgotten a counter charge doesn't have the same restrictions as a parting blow.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Jacob's saying he's getting cold feet about this whole plan. And we can hear the chat going on. JJ's trying to bait
it
him
wins
in.
you the game. Like JJ knows how.
Yeah. And then Jacob's going to say, but if you miss one of those attacks and don't get the dodge, you probably lose the game.
Yep.
And they've got a little bit of back and forth between the players here about what they should and shouldn't do. Never do what your opponent wants you to do.
Do you know what I would do?
Score.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dread Gaze goes up from Vet Siren.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the right call. If you need to, set up your death ball.
Yeah, I would have moved for a rope in, hit 3 times, pass to Sakana, stand Sakana up, pass to Sakana, snapshot.
I don't think so. Is his kind of within 8 inches there, do you reckon?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Maybe. I don't know.
If he was.
If he was, that's because I'm bad.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. And Vet Siren is going to go in and attack Ballista. Engaging compound.
Yeah, just to engage compound. Takes a momentous 1 inch. Is that push or a dodge?
Push on Vet Siren's playbook. Yeah, I know, right?
Pushes on fish models that have a 30mm base. Disgraceful. I say after Hag's just gone in.
Yeah. Pushed and dodged 7 models. So 3 influence on Sakana, which is what JJ's a little bit worried about. Though now, with the momentum generated, Corsair's still probably out of range because he can only walk 4.
Yeah, the actual issue is the Sakana situation of where Sakana is.
He's still on the floor, so...
If only he
So
had
it's a tough
one-touch football. Stand him up, pass it to him, pass it back. Snapshot for style.
One-touch football. What a card.
What a card.
It's interesting how cards like that were so big in the game and then they disappear and you forget they were ever in there.
Yep,
like,
they turn
don't
into
touch
character
the
plays.
Bonesaw.
Is it? Is Black Heart's one's like similar, right?
Very
You can
similar
do the
on my
same
mark.
sort of
Same sort of stuff. Yeah. So players here just cannot decide. What
there's a reason there's a dead silence here.
Yeah.
It's because it's kind of...
The Dread Gaze there really putting a dampener on trying to kill Sakana.
Yeah.
Obviously, compound.
And interestingly, going and killing Sakana might win the game.
Yeah.
Because at that point, Corsair can hook in, push out the way,
walk through,
sprint because sturdy. Don't care if you try and knock me down.
Yeah.
Close control. Don't care if you tackle me.
Yeah.
I mean, Vengeance Token comes into it. If you get the double tackle,
then
now he cares.
Yeah.
But I mean,
walk back in.
generally speaking, you would expect hook, knockdown, push, sprint, goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, JJ doesn't really want to move where Sakana is.
No.
Ooh.
So this is a burrow from Hoist. He loses 2 dice because of Dread Gaze, but he gets a free attack for using the nest
So
marker.
he's going in on Sakana here?
Hitting Sakana, so 3's 1. 2 dice.
Does nothing.
1 damage.
Oh, sorry.
That's kind of, JJ's been very strict in saying, I'll reroll anything that falls out of my tray.
Yep.
Yeah, and this
I forgot, even though it was the whole topic of conversation of the last activation. I forgot that Sakana was knocked down. That's why I thought that was nothing.
Yeah. Then he's got his walk. Using the proxy base there to put Hoist
Sure about this.
out of 2 of Tentacles, out of 4 of Dread Gaze. Plenty of room to walk around there. What's your concern about this one?
Yeah, and then I guess he's just going to hoof it into space once he's got it.
Yeah.
The Vengeance Token makes everything so safe.
So of course then not declaring the counter attack. Needing 3's and 1. 4 dice because of cover. 2.
Crank it to 6. Does that get anything useful?
5 long playbook. Momentous tackle, which does nothing. Close control's gone.
I think he's just going to go...
Yeah. So bind another attack. Counter attack declared by Jacob.
Counter attack this one.
This is where we're looking
Be
for.
like a double. Now he's going to use the Vengeance Token, right, and go for the wrap of the tackle and a.
That's what you really want, and well, he's in base contact,
which was a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, mistake potentially. So he's got 3 hits after armor, which means he can. just like one damage dodge or push to keep him in base contact.
He wants to kind of... I mean, I'd probably go for the push dodge, nudge him out of cover, keep you in and stay in base to base so that you can't
Yes, that's your best chance. So he's there. He's taken the tackle. But does he spend the vengeance token to... They're saying if he spends that vengeance, he's still in base contact. He's still in combat with him. He's saying the vengeance token, probably if he spends it, doesn't do anything for him. So we might leave it on to make it more threatening later in the game.
Like once close control's out the way?
Yeah. I mean, what does
I don't know if
Corsair
there's a huge
tackle
amount Corsair... I mean, I don't think he's really that bothered if Corsair tackles it back, is he?
So he has spent the vengeance token, so he's gone for the... And chooses the 2 damage push dodge. 2 down to 1.
Yep.
Push out of cover and
go
directly away, remaining in cover. Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So
5 dice,
he's
4s and 1.
basically kept him engaged because the parting blow is a threat now.
Yeah. 1 hit. Nothing, is it?
Tackle.
Oh, tackle back. You're right. I thought the tackle was later in the playbook. Then 1 more attack. 5 dice this time.
So Jacob actually forgot there.
Yeah, about sturdy. I think JJ shouldn't have spent the...
No, JJ just saying there he doesn't think he should have spent it. He kind of got psyched out by a counter attack.
Yeah.
But
2 hits. He takes the push. And then dodge.
So Corsair has the ball still.
Yep.
Why do you want to be outside of Sagana?
No. Ball on Corsair, game state hasn't changed at all.
Nope.
I mean, Corsair's further away, but he's now got a target to punch on before he stands Sakana up, passes to him. No one's engaging Sakana.
No,
So
it all depends on if Sakana's within 8 of the goal at this point for me.
Uh-huh.
If he's within 8 of the goal, you're looking at a 4 dice snapshot.
With the bonus time, yeah.
Yep.
So, we said at the beginning we didn't think clocks were going to come into it.
That would require 5 momentum. Got to stand him up.
Yep, it's 2.
1 for the bonus time, 2 for the snapshot.
2 for snapshot.
So you need 4 momentum,
1
then
for
a
the
successful pass.
Yeah.
Which,
doable.
I don't know if it is.
Oh,
because
30,
the knockdown isn't getting you any momentum.
The first
two
one.
easiest knockdown the 2 easiest results is
Yeah.
the tackle and the knockdown. You're not getting momentum from either of those 2.
Just going back to the clocks there, we said earlier in the game we didn't think that would matter. Maybe it will. JJ has 10 minutes left. Jacob has 15 minutes left.
Yep. So Corsair, to start getting momentum off Hoist,
3
needs
hits.
3...
Which 6 dice on
Or
hitting 3s is still...
absorb 1 and then be taking...
Can't absorb 1 though, can he?
Absorb 1 in terms of like accept that you'll be down 1. Assuming he's got 6, which I'm assuming Corsair
6
does
is
have.
1 for the pass and then 5, which means, yeah, he could do it if he's got the 6.
Yeah. Assuming he has 6.
USA Team 1 have won. Will
This is
USA?
Team 2, right?
This is Team 2, yeah. So Jacob
funny
here
when
is
it's
just
so cagey when the ball is so in play.
yeah. It's such a
Like it's not booted out in the middle of nowhere.
no, but then that's when it's most cagey potentially because there's so much to lose because the ball is active.
Yep.
It looks like Corsair's trying to Oh, he's measuring out Corsair doing it himself. I think Sakana's in there. It's whether they spot it or not.
So in a straight line, it's 4 inches from the edge, center of the edge of the goal token to center of that deployment line is 4 inches. Right, that dotted line is 4 inches away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Sakana is looking at that distance, even though he's slightly diagonal.
Yeah,
I think he's within double that distance of the goal.
Yeah.
And we are looking at this on a very small monitor compared to the one we've used when we've streamed at the Northwest Gaming Centre.
Yeah. So we got Corsair's attacks coming in here onto
Hoist.
Gets the knockdown, sturdy
away.
triggers. No momentum though. Again. 4s and 1 is
good.
Yeah.
Especially when you're only getting 5 dice because he's in cover.
Yeah. 1 hit. 1 damage, which does nothing because tough hide. So this is the last chance for the stand up. Well, for the bonus time. 1 hit. The bonus time's off.
Bonus time is off.
It's getting pretty ropey. So that's 3 attacks. We've got 3 left. It's all off now, isn't it? If there's only 3 left, 1 needs to be the pass. Knock down something. No, it's still doable. No, it's not. You can generate 3 momentum, needs 4.
Yeah. I think I might have gone with Sakana before.
Stand up. Buy some attacks, get some momentum.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Headphone fell off. I'm an idiot, everyone.
I can confirm.
Everyone in the room confirms.
I can confirm. Jamie Gibbons
I just knocked my headset off. Apologies to
IDST.
Microphone users. Headphone users at home. That probably wouldn't have sounded great.
For the YouTube one, Ronan, add in RIP headphone users at whatever this timestamp is.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone. What a mighty yawn, yeah. Shh. Never yawning.
You're the one that gets all the plaudits. So unprofessional.
I think that's why.
Yeah.
Does everyone
love your bony charm.
Does everyone remember Burglar Bill?
Oh no, not this again.
Oh, charging hoist. You can't because you're engaging him. Velocity. Oh. This is a...
Opens it up.
Yeah. And drop the ball off onto Kraken.
No, just leave it there.
Yeah.
You're ahead on clock? Well, were. I don't know. Is it 10 or 12 now from here?
Currently 10 minutes 11 seconds to JJ and 10 minutes 40 seconds for Jacob.
Yeah. So I'd just
so that lead on your clock has disappeared now.
Zip back, sit on it. Well, the issue of the clock is, even though JJ was ahead by 5 minutes on clock, I mean, Hag's going down this turn, right?
Oh yeah, has to. Has what, less than 3 health
when you
left?
Look at clock advantage.
You're up to 10.
There's some weird maths in that, I'm sure, but it being 10 VPs
50-50.
versus 8, 10 VPs versus 8, 10 minutes versus 15 minute, or a 5 minute difference.
Yeah. Well, they're on the same time now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But had he not?
Oh, had he not have done the time? Yeah.
I'm assuming that not a huge
one more, only 1 hit. This 4-1 has been a killer with 5 dice.
Well, it's not.
And nothing happens again. That is a captain's activation.
It's
Oh, yeah,
sturdy and tough hide.
Sturdy, tough hide, for sure.
It's just rendered that playbook against a 4-1 model in cover as pretty hopeless.
Yeah. I think Corsair has 1 influence left and has to think very carefully about what happens.
Run away.
Yeah.
You don't have close control anymore. No. Run away. And
sprints back.
Wait for a line to open up to get that snapshot that you're looking for. Yeah. The issue is you're going to lose initiative, and now you're standing next to velocity. Yeah.
Taking the ball with him, I assume. And JJ saying there, well, that was fantastic for me, but that was rough for you. Oh dear. So, Hag, reckon we see the end of her right now? JJ saying, take the parting blow onto your clock if you want it. 1 damage, tough hide triggers, so no damage done to Ballista. Not trying to engage Hag. And starts buying attacks on Sakana.
While he's down, take advantage of poise not being a thing.
Yeah, and he's bonus time to bring it back up to 6 dice because Ballista's got the pushes nice and easy on his playbook to bring him out of cover. Get an outside of Dread Gaze as well. JJ saying that's the... that was the intention, and Jacob saying, I think it's from my angle, doesn't look out, but yeah, I believe you. Mentis 2 damage.
Yeah. There's something that I think you have to say, the sportsmanship between these two has been fantastic.
Been very good.
Very clean play overall anyway, and then at any point where someone said, my intent is to do this, it's always been, as long as you're not like entirely taking the mickey, that's fine.
Yeah.
Even though it's entirely on a knife edge.
Yeah. The push takes it out, 7 dice, 'cause bonus timed. Another Momentous 2. By another in bonus time.
Bonus time, is it?
The ball is meant to be on Corsair, we believe.
Yeah.
It's not been just dropped in the middle of a pitch.
One would assume. Until we hear otherwise, it's on Corsair.
Yeah.
And Corsair's close control is down for anyone that's just joined us.
Yeah.
But I believe
Keep
there's no
attacks.
influence on velocity.
So all those attacks just then were on Jacob's clock. You've got to switch it back over after the parting blow.
Oh.
Eek. 3 hit points left. Momentous 2. 1 health left on Sakana. 1 last attack before his penultimate.
He has one left, I believe.
JJ says he believes. Oh, there's 1 damage. So he's taking the momentous push, being greedy. I've seen this go wrong for myself and other people so many times.
Yeah, I never dare do that. I'm never that guy. I never dare to do it.
I'll sacrifice 1 influence to guarantee the kill. Yeah.
And a bit of greed pays off there.
Yeah, so 10-8 to JJ. Interesting one. And Jacob just there saying that he should have tagged along with Tentacles. And the guys there just, again, just showing their true sportsmanship, saying that I think Corsair's been nudged because you measured to be within 2 of velocity and doesn't want it to become a point of contention later on, saying, oh, actually, velocity's out. You measured incorrectly. They're saying, no, you definitely meant for that to be the case, so just do it. You let me do this 4 inches out of Dread Gaze.
Yep, 100%. Like, it's a weird thing about this game in particular. It's tense. Don't get me wrong. It's very tense. It's arguably one of the most tense games we've ever done the commentary on, where it started off so quick and it just sort of slowed down. I wouldn't even. This isn't a grind fest. This is like just so. The positioning has been so important from both players. There was some fantastic positioning from Jacob at the start, where he was sort of using JJ's positioning to protect himself
to stop
from
the
compound countercharge.
Yeah.
And then as we've gone into the game, there's been sort of various plans that have been attempted and failed, or not enough momentum at certain points in them.
Yep.
It's just been a really enjoyable game to watch, and despite the fact it is definitely tense, we can hear from the players how tense it is. At no point has either player been entirely on like tilt.
No,
you've heard like a grumble every now and then, even after that,
even after
activation with
Corsair's woeful activation,
Jacob
but nothing happened.
Oh well, I knew it was like a really not particularly odds in my favour plan, and you can't really complain when you don't get lucky.
Yeah, this is high activating, running back, using decoy to make it 6s.
So yeah, that.
And JJ's like, decoy?
Does that work for AoEs?
It's not targets, it's just attack or character play, so the next one will matter. 6 to hit on the next one, and then it misses, and the next one's 4s again.
Possibly the first time I've ever seen decoy used.
Yeah, from Fisher's Reel at least. I've seen it used on grayscales quite a lot. And Ratchet, so we've had confirmation there from the players, that Hag has 2 health left, and he's like, I
can't not. It's for the game. Like, why wouldn't you?
2 dice, 6 plus, 50-50 odds.
Either hits or it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're seeing Ratchet here walk forwards to get within 4, throw it with 10 inches to make sure it hits Kraken, because if it hits Kraken, at least he gets momentum for it.
Yep.
And if he does Kraken first, he gets momentum, can bonus time the one on.
I mean, he can bonus time either.
Oh, he's got
so much momentum.
This is
killed
true.
Sakana with 6 influence.
Yep. This is
loads.
correct. I'm ignoring. He gets a 6, and that is game. Congratulations to JJ.
12-8
12-8.
England 1.